Yeah.
Hello, are you a parent of teens? Are you interested in sharing and learning insights on parenting teens? Welcome back to Parenting Teens. My name is Lil B, and today I'm here with my son, Gabriel Businje. Introduce yourself.
My name is Businje Gabriel, and I'm a student in secondary. I'm into various sports like swimming and rugby and football.
So we are going to talk about slang as the language of communication for teens. And before we start talking about slang, I would like to just share a little bit of history about the word slang. So slang started in the 17th century as a word, but it was commonly used to refer to underclass people, fugitives, thieves, and it was generally a negative word. But then in the early 18th century, it got into the Oxford Dictionary, and it still got into the dictionary as a negative word. But in recent times, we know slang to refer to a language that is common among a generation of people or a group of people. And it could also be contextual, because slang that is used in Uganda, for example, might be different from slang used in another city. It could also be different according to towns or cities within Uganda. So the slang that is used in Kampala may be different from the slang that is used in Jinja, or that is used in Arua, or that is used in Soroti. So we are going to compare generational slang. I, during my time as a teen, had slang that we used, and Gabriel, I'm sure they also have slang that they use. And in between myself and Gabriel, there is a generation. So we are going to compare slang in Gabriel's time and slang in my time, and skip the slang in the middle. But to do that, I think Gabriel, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Huh?
Okay.
And we see who starts.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Okay, let me start.
Okay.
So, during my time, when somebody is cool or good looking, or it's an event that is a nice event, we would say the event is fly. That event was fly. Oh, that chick is fly. That guy is fly. How do you say it?
Okay, first, I would say these days we term it as hard.
Hard.
Say like that guy is hard, or he's hard, or they are hard, or that party was hard.
Oh, really?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So the other word that we used to use, not even a word, this is a suffix that would add on to a name to sound cool. Now, like if I'm Lillian, I would find a way of making my name sound cool according to us. So I would call myself Lianix. So there were those guys who would call themselves Antex. Or now, like Gabriel, you'd maybe say Gabex. Or if it's whatever your name is, I know someone who is called Inex. So we would add the prefix EX to sound cool. How do you do it?
At first, I don't think you have anything like that these days, but it's just maybe if you have a nickname people can call you by. Like, let's say for me, I'm Gabriel. Some people call me Gabi. So something like that, just a nickname.
So you just make a nickname.
Yeah. It's either you make it up or people make it up for you. And you can go with it.
Okay.
As long as you like it.
Okay, that's not bad. So what about the things that you take to school to add to your school food to make it more appetizing? How do you call that?
I would say in my school, we call it spice. But that's in my school. I don't know. In various schools might have other things, but for us, that's what we call it, spice. Yeah.
How about appetizer?
I feel like appetizer is part of spice. It's just it's like an ingredient. It's just, so the collective name is spice.
For us, we call it, we used to call it, the full word is appetizer, but we'd call it appeta. Okay. What about snacks that you take to school to eat while at school?
Oh, we call that grab. Yeah, we call it grab.
That's the same. We also used to call it grab. What about if a boy is interested in a girl? how would he talk to the girl?
I would say, as we term it as, if I'm interested in a girl, then I would say that I feel her. I feel her, or like, yeah, I feel like that's what we say. I say I feel her, or she's feeling me, or I'm feeling her. Yeah, something
And
like
then
that.
what do you call it? The girl herself?
The girl, you can call a girl. There are many things people call a girl: a babe, a bird. Some people call her a bird. Yeah, there are various names.
So for us, we would say conning. Conning, I'm conning that chick. I'm going to con that chick. So for you, you'd say,
I say okay. For us, if you mean you're putting in the case of talking to a girl you like, then I'd say I don't think there's any big word for that. I just say I'm talking to her, or she's talking to me, or we're talking, something like that.
That's interesting. So the other word that we used to use a lot was if you've been dumped by a guy, then they would say that he chucked her. How do you say?
I've never had that. I've never had that chucked, but I feel like it's not something we use often these days. These days we just say he has broken up with her, or she has broken up with him, or he has left her. She has left
so
him.
you don't have slang
Yeah,
for
we
it?
don't. I don't think we have a specific word for it.
The other word is how do you call parents?
Parents, that is interesting because different groups of people have different names. But for me, and the people I be around, we call the father Afire, and then the mother Damire.
So mother has and then father has his.
Yeah.
What about if they are together?
If they're together,
as in parents,
as
there's no word.
With the people I stay with and I'm normally with, we don't have a specific word for it.
So for us, we used to call parents wazee or peros. So we'd lump them up. We didn't have, some of us used to say made, fade, but generally would say wazee, peros. Then what about dance? Like going for a dance or a dance?
I'd say going for dance, would say I'm going for vibes.
Vibes,
yeah. I'd say I'm going for vibes, and yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. So we're going for vibes.
So for us, would say we're going for vigor. Vigor is dance. Then how about money? How do you call money?
Money, you call it racks.
Racks? Why racks?
I don't know. It just sounds like money. Racks.
Racks. For us, we would call it color.
Color. For us, color is almost it's what we call juice. I wouldn't say like homemade juice, but I would say like, that juice you buy. Yeah, the juice you buy like in supermarkets, and that you have to dilute with water. I think that for us, that's what we call color.
Oh, that's color. Interesting. For us, we would call it color or bucks. Bucks or color.
Money.
Yes, money. Then, do you have a word for food?
Yeah, food. We have in my school. We have two words. We have doof and megu, but I feel like megu is a word that has doof and megu, but I feel like megu is a word that has grown bigger, and like many people call it megu these days. So it's
megu or migu? Megu. And then the other one, doof, is actually the food in the
backwards,
reverse, backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Is there any other word that is very interesting from the slang that you use?
I don't think so.
So let's give, if you were to make a sentence using slang.
Using slang.
Can you make a sentence using slang?
You say a sentence and I can translate. I can use it. I can like change your sentence.
Okay.
By using slang.
Let's say that guy is interested in a girl who likes food.
So that guy is feeling a girl who likes megu.
How about that guy is feeling a bird who likes megu?
Or that even, because a bird is a girl. So yeah.
Okay.
Even that.
So is it possible for you to speak in slang and I don't understand anything you're saying?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Very
like
possible.
what? Like what?
Especially when at school.
Like what?
Let me give you a sentence. As from ducks, I woke up to blaze, and the teacher canned me.
That was I was from dome.
I was from ducks.
Okay, that means I was from dome.
No, I was from ducks, and I went to blaze, and the teacher canned me.
I was from
Sleeping.
class,
Sleeping.
from sleeping.
And I went to Blaze. I went to like eat something.
Then I went to eat something.
And the teacher beat me.
Okay. So for sure you can talk and I will not understand anything. Is that how you talk like generally?
Yeah, at school we talk like that a lot. I would say it has become a common language between everyone, and even teachers know it these days.
Teachers know slang, or they know you're speaking slang but they can't understand.
They know that you're speaking slang because some understand but others don't understand, and we have to interpret to them like that we have just done now.
Really? Yeah, that is very interesting actually. We need to write that word. You say it again. It's interesting. I was from Blaze?
No, I was from Ducks. I went to Blaze and I was canned.
I was from Ducks and then I went to Blaze and then I was canned.
The teacher canned me.
Whoa, that is something else. Okay. So anyway, that is just interesting. So I can imagine that the generation in between us also had their own slang that they used to use. But I want to ask you a question. How do teens spend their time these days?
I'd say these days, a lot of people I know spend their time in sports. I feel like many are interested into sports, rugby, football, a lot, tennis. There are many sports people are interested too. Like for me, I'm interested in rugby and football. So during my free time, I can, like when I'm home, I can go for training. I play games in the holiday. I watch games. Another way people spend their time is visiting friends. Visiting friends at their places, or even going out to do various things. You can go out to have a meal, or you can go out to watch a movie, or like. And another way these days people spend their time a lot is through birthday parties. I feel like birthday parties it's a way of gathering many friends together and like celebrating and having fun together. So I feel like, for me, I feel like those are the various ways people spend their time these days. Also, attending things like concerts, whereby many people are there. So, yeah.
But these days, during our time, we didn't have phones. We didn't have, there were video games, but it was not every kid who could afford to play video games. But these days, there are phones, there's TV, there are movies, there are tablets, Don't teens spend their time on those things?
Yes, there are many people spend their time on social media, and of course it has its benefits, but it also has its disadvantages. And one of the benefits is many people have learned to make TikToks. Many people make TikToks, and it can be a way of gaining money and also fame. So I would say people spend their time into social media a lot, but I feel like it's also a disadvantage because people start to base their lives off other people because of what they have seen on social media. So someone might start to want their life to be like someone's they have seen, yet it really shouldn't be. They should just live their own life. So I feel like that's the only disadvantage with social media I've seen, is people comparing their lives to others. Yeah, but the advantages is, people can make TikToks, there's Instagram, there's all these things that people can actually gain fame from and become famous.
For me, during our time, we used not to have these things. So we would visit friends. You'd go and visit, and when you visit, you actually go to your friend's house, and your parents knew that you were leaving. You'd even ask for permission that I'm going to visit Gabriel, and Gabriel's parents would know that I'm coming. If they don't know that I'm coming, at least they would know me. And when I arrive, my friend would even prepare for me something to eat. And next time when my parents meet my friend's parents, they would even talk about it. They say that, Lillian came and she visited and she was at home. She told us about this and that. So my friends were known by my parents, and my parents also knew my friends' parents. So it was rare that you just had friends who were not known by your parents. Yeah. But these days, I know maybe 2 or 3 of your friends only.
I feel like these days, we might have, as I said, social media, you might have like over 20 other friends, but you have actually not spent a lot of time with them because I feel like you're just talking on social media, but you have not actually met them in person more. And I feel like that's where it's different, where you people would always meet up every time. Of course, first you meet up once in a while sometimes, but it's not as frequent, I think, as you guys used to do it back then.
What about here, like now in this estate where we live? Do you have neighbors that you know?
Yeah, I have a few neighbors that I know.
Who are your friends?
Yeah.
But now I don't know them. See? Now for us, we knew everybody who lived close to us. Almost everybody. We even knew the parents. We knew. So you'd get out of your house and everybody around knew who you were. But now you have friends here, but I don't know all of them. So I even wonder whether you meet. Do you even meet or you just chat? You
No, we
talk
meet sometimes. We meet at sometimes because like you can meet them at, let's say, at games, at different places. And yeah.
Okay, let me ask you the last question. What advice would you give teens on how to spend their time constructively?
Spending your time constructively, I feel like sports is a big one for me. I would say that because I'm into sports a lot. I always want to be involved in something. Either I'm at gym, or I'm playing rugby, or I'm playing some football, or I'm swimming. So it's, for me, I feel like sports is a big thing because it can bring up your talents and you can actually be recognized for it. Another thing is expressing your talents, like who have talents like singing, dancing, all these things but they don't have a platform to actually bring it out. So I feel like those are the main things. I feel like even just involving yourselves in just the
Things that
normal
you're
things, yeah,
interested in.
or things at home, even like cooking. Like I learned to cook. And not that I can cook something extraordinary, but I can cook something I know that people can eat. Yeah, I feel like just finding the specific things people like, going out more often, and exploiting their interests gets people to start doing different things, can expose them to their talents and bring them out. Yeah.
So, for us during our time, we used to, for those of us who grew up around Kampala, we used to have youth groups. And there were two major groups which were very popular. There was Nsambia Youth, and then there was Mbuya Youth. So they organized activities for us and would have like sports, or would have like maybe competitions, dance, or maybe music. Would go and mime and dance and do all kinds of things. But it was very clear that they invited us, and most of them were through the church or through, it was mostly through church or school. So your parents even knew that you were going for those kind of things. So if we didn't go for those youth activities, then we also did church things. So maybe church would organize for us maybe drama, or maybe some activity, or would watch maybe movies, but from church. But everything we did had to be something that our parents knew and encouraged us to do, or even wanted us to do. It was rare that we did anything that our parents didn't know about, or that our parents didn't recommend.
But on that, I feel like these days people do things that people may do things that their parents may not want them to do. Like, for example, I know many people whose parents don't want them to play rugby, but because it's termed as a dangerous sport, but there are many people actually talented at it, and so at times they would sneak out to go and play rugby and exploit their interests, but when their parents don't want them to, and yet they're actually good at it. So I feel like sometimes that brings the conflict between them, because I would want to do something and I would like it. I know I'm good at it, but you might think otherwise about it, and that's where the conflict comes. That's where people start sneaking out to do some things, sticking out to play, coming back before you're home. Yeah.
But why are parents not encouraging their children to play games like rugby?
I wouldn't say just rugby. I would say even doing other things, but rugby is a sport that is, as I said, termed as dangerous because of the contact. It's a contact sport. So parents see it as something threatening to someone's life, and that's why some people aren't allowed to play it. And me, I'm lucky. before you allow me to play it. So,
but isn't it dangerous? I know I allow you to play it, but I think it's a dangerous sport. So how do you protect yourself?
if you know how to play rugby and you're actually trained to play rugby, then you wouldn't find it dangerous. You'll just find it fun. But someone who's watching it and doesn't know much about it might term it as dangerous. But if you're playing and you're on the pitch, it's just a normal games like football, tennis, or something like that. It's just a normal
So
thing.
for you as an individual, how do you protect yourself? You're a captain of your rugby team, right?
Yeah.
So how do you protect yourself and your teammates?
Man, I just play.
Do you talk
just
about
play.
it? Do you talk about it and
Of
how
course,
you
we
can
don't talk
protect?
about injuries because you can't be going in for a game and you're talking about injuries. I feel like that can demoralize some players because, of course, there are some players who are scared, and if you talk about it too much, it might affect them. But me, I just pray and go and play because if you train well and you know what you're going to do on that pitch, then you shouldn't be scared of any of those risks. Of course, they happen. I'm not saying they don't happen; they do happen, but you just have to play well, and they won't happen.
So you encourage people to practice well and follow the rules of the game and to protect themselves. But I mean, there are so many things that are dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you could be walking on the road and you get knocked by a border bee or get knocked by a car or everything. You just have to be careful and protect yourself, right?
Yeah, there are very many sports. Swimming, you can drown. Football, you can also get as bad, like injuries as bad as you can get in rugby. So it's not just rugby, I would say, but it's sports in general. You have to be safe in what you're doing and you'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Gabriel, for coming to share the experiences of teens now. I really liked comparing the slang that you use these days. And I thought we had shared most of the slang, but you even made a sentence that I couldn't even understand. So next time, I want you to come back and we talk about something else. Are you willing to come back?
Yeah, I'm willing to come and I'm very grateful to be on this channel. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So for those of you who have been watching us, please like, subscribe, and comment so that you can watch many other videos like this. Thank you very much and bye-bye.
So that boy you can do like this. That's boy to cut.